He was the most feared striker on earth until one moment changed everything. Not a referee's call or a missed shot, his own body betrayed him. A sudden shift, his knee twisting unnaturally, and the world froze as the unstoppable became still. At his peak, Ronaldo Nazario made the extraordinary routine. How does someone fall so hard and rise again? This isn't only about return, it's a journey through disappearance, despair, and resurgence. Before the silence, there was rhythm. In Bento Ribeiro, Rio's streets echoed with the sound of a boy slicing through defenders in broken sandals. Each goal felt like prophecy. By 16, he scored 5 goals in one match for Cruzeiro. Fans flooded buses to see him. Scouts whispered, "Fenomeno." But what happened to Ronaldo Nazario? This story traces the sprint, the weightless goals, and the Barcelona explosion. And then the unraveling. France, 98, the seizure before the final, the knee injury, the disbelief. You'll see when his body gave up. The resurrection that quieted doubt. The 2002 World Cup, where he let his feet answer every question. You'll understand why people still cry watching him. A single moment changed everything, but his name remained. This is Ronaldo Nazario. O Fenomeno. In the working-class neighborhood of Bento Ribeiro, Rio de Janeiro, mornings were filled with shouts and the sound of worn-out footballs skipping across cracked pavement. Among the barefoot boys, one stood out, Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima. Born on September 18, 1976 in Itaguaí, he wasn't the tallest or the strongest, but there was something electric in his movement, even as a child. His father, Nelio, left early. His mother, Sonia, worked as a house cleaner, raising Ronaldo on her own. "I always found him on the street playing ball with friends when he should have been in school," she once said. "I know, I lost my battle." Ronaldo left school by 11 and devoted himself to futsal, a decision that would shape his genius. Futsal refined his technique and shaped his decisions. On tight courts, Ronaldo developed exceptional control and balance. He could change direction effortlessly, hide intentions, and strike with precision. Coaches were stunned by how he read the game, reacting faster than anyone else. His mind and feet moved as one. At 12, he joined Social Ramos and scored 166 goals in his first season, including 11 in a single match. A year later, he moved to São Cristóvão. By 16, Brazil legend Jairzinho saw his potential and brought him to Cruzeiro. Ronaldo wasted no time. He scored 5 goals against Bahia within weeks of his debut. Commentators were stunned. Fans sensed something extraordinary. He ended 1993 with 44 goals in 47 games, helping Cruzeiro win both the Copa do Brasil and the state title. Scouts from Europe took notice. Barcelona, the club that once signed Romario, was about to knock. In the summer of 1994, after Brazil won the World Cup, 17-year-old Ronaldo joined PSV Eindhoven for around $5.5 million. Following Romario's footsteps, he arrived with confidence, ready to replace a legend and make Europe his stage. His first season was electric. In 33 Eredivisie matches, he scored 30 goals, becoming the league's top scorer. 10 minutes into his debut against Vitesse, he found the net. In the following weeks, he tore through defenses, including a standout match against Go Ahead Eagles. Teammates described his bursts of speed as like watching lightning in slow motion, a surreal blend of explosiveness and balance. On the European front, he made headlines with a hat trick against Bayer Leverkusen in the 1994-95 UEFA Cup. Germany striker Rudi Völler famously said, "Never in my life have I seen an 18-year-old play this way." Commentators, coaches, and scouts echoed the same awe. Injuries emerged during his second season. Despite this, Ronaldo netted 12 goals in just 13 league matches. Across 2 Eredivisie seasons, he totaled 42 goals in 46 league games. Including domestic cups and European fixtures, his tally reached 54 goals in 57 appearances. It was unprecedented for a teenager on foreign soil. What made him so special at PSV? Ronaldo's brilliance wasn't just numerical. He played with a sense of inevitability, receiving the ball deep, turning, accelerating through defenders, and finishing with poise. He moved like he was sculpted for football. His ability to improvise and dominate from any position on the field redefined the striker archetype. By 1996, PSV knew they couldn't keep him. Barcelona and Inter Milan hovered closely. Ronaldo had become more than a talent. He was already a phenomenon. What came next would lift his name into legend. In the summer of 1996, FC Barcelona signed 19-year-old Ronaldo from PSV Eindhoven for a then world record fee of 15 million euros. Manager Bobby Robson with assistant Jose Mourinho welcomed him to Catalonia, knowing they had a rare gem. Ronaldo arrived with electrifying speed, close control, and lethal finishing. What followed during the 1996-97 season redefined what was possible for a striker. He scored 47 goals in 49 matches across all competitions, including 34 in 37 La Liga games, winning the Pichichi Trophy as top scorer. His performances stunned fans and analysts alike. His goal against Compostela, where he charged from the halfway line, danced past defenders, and scored with ease, became an iconic moment. Robson later admitted, "I don't think I've ever seen a player at 20 have so much." Ronaldo led Barcelona to a treble of domestic, the Copa del Rey, the Supercopa de España, and the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, where he netted the decisive goal in the final. These achievements earned him the FIFA World Player of the Year award, making him the youngest to ever receive the honor. Physically, he was unmatched. His compact frame allowed for rapid direction changes. He exploded past defenders and absorbed challenges with surprising ease. Teammate Oscar Garcia remarked, "Back then, he was all fiber and muscle. Such incredible power matched to his technical skills could make him unstoppable." By early 1997, the football world compared him to Pelé, Maradona, Cruyff, and Van Basten. Ronaldo wasn't just the future, redefining what the present could look like in football. However, despite a mutual desire to extend his contract, negotiations fell apart. Club president Josep Luis Núñez declared, "It's all over, Ronaldo is going." Inter Milan paid the $27 million release clause. His time in Barcelona had lasted only one season, but it was enough to make him unforgettable. In the summer of 1997, Ronaldo moved to Inter Milan after just one season in Spain. The Italian club activated his $27 million release clause, setting a new world transfer record. Serie A was the most tactical and defensively rigid league at the time, a place where strikers were routinely neutralized. But Ronaldo thrived. He made defenders look pedestrian, weaving through them with power and grace. In his debut season, he scored 25 goals in 32 league games, an astonishing feat in Italy's unforgiving football landscape. Fans at the San Siro were in awe, watching a striker unlike any they had seen. His ability to change direction at full speed, finish with either foot, and humiliate even the most experienced defenders became weekly spectacles. He made Inter believe. That year, he won the Ballon d'Or and led Inter to a UEFA Cup title. In the final against Lazio, he scored a signature goal, rounding the goalkeeper before calmly slotting the ball in. He stood still, arms raised, as if to say, "This is what greatness looks like." At 21, he had already become an icon. Paolo Maldini, Italy's most celebrated defender, later said Ronaldo and Maradona were the two greatest he had ever faced. But the physical toll began to mount. His style was all torque and explosion, every movement sharp and violent to defenders, but costly to his joints. The wear and tear accumulated silently. Then came the 1998 World Cup. Ronaldo carried Brazil to the final with 4 goals and 3 assists. But on the day of the final against France, everything unraveled. Hours before kickoff, Ronaldo suffered a convulsive seizure at the team hotel. Doctors ruled him out. The lineup was released without his name. Then, just over an hour before the match, he was cleared to play. On the pitch, he was a shadow. The explosiveness, the instinct, it was missing. Brazil looked lost and fell 3-0. Speculation exploded. Was he forced to play by corporate sponsors? Was there a cover-up? A Brazilian congressional inquiry followed but found nothing conclusive. Ronaldo never revealed what really happened, but his silence said enough. That night was more than a defeat. It was a reminder that even legends are flesh and bone. This moment, steeped in confusion and heartache, marked a fracture in the myth of invincibility that had once surrounded him. On November 21, 1999, in a Serie A clash against Lecce, Ronaldo collapsed in pain, clutching his right knee. It was the beginning of a nightmare that would take him from the peak of his powers to the edge of retirement. Doctors diagnosed a ruptured tendon. Surgery followed. He was told it would take months, not weeks, to return. The rehab was intense. Ronaldo, who had built his legend on explosive movement, now had to relearn how to walk. After 5 months of recovery, he stepped back onto the pitch for Inter in the Coppa Italia on April 12, 2000. Just 6 minutes in, disaster struck again. As he planted his foot to change direction, his knee gave out completely. What followed was described by some doctors and pundits as the worst football injury ever seen, a complete rupture of the kneecap tendon. The pain was unbearable. Emotionally, it shattered him. In that time, he underwent multiple surgeries, fought through isolation, and was buried under media speculation. Pundits declared he was finished. Headlines mocked his weight and questioned his discipline. Sponsors distanced themselves. The same media that once celebrated him now treated him as a tragic tale. But Ronaldo never stopped. Quietly out of the spotlight, he trained, suffered, and endured. And in 2002, against all odds, he was selected for Brazil's World Cup squad. The world watched with skepticism. Scolari's decision drew criticism. Many thought it was symbolic until the games began. Ronaldo scored 8 goals across the tournament. 2 came in the final against Germany. The first a poacher's instinct, the second clinical precision. He won the Golden Boot. He won Brazil their 5th title. And he won the Laureus Award for Comeback of the Year. It was the emotional peak of his career, the final word in a chapter written through pain and resilience. Ronaldo returned with purpose, reclaiming everything he once was and more. In the summer of 2002, fresh off a World Cup that redefined resilience, Ronaldo was at the center of a transfer storm. Real Madrid, under President Florentino Perez, was assembling a constellation of global stars. Ronaldo became the crown jewel. For 45 million euros, he joined a squad already boasting Zidane, Figo, Roberto Carlos, and soon David Beckham. On September 2, 2002, 80,000 fans flooded the Santiago Bernabeu for his presentation. He debuted on October 6th against Alaves. Within seconds of coming on, he scored. Then he scored again. It was a perfect start. Ronaldo ended the 2002-03 season with 29 goals in all competitions, 23 in La Liga, and 6 in the Champions League. Madrid lifted the La Liga title. He was awarded FIFA World Player of the Year for a 3rd time. At his peak, Ronaldo was still unplayable. Defenders bounced off him. He remained deceptively quick, his balance and finishing unmatched. But the echoes of past injuries never faded completely. Over the next few seasons, as Real dealt with frequent managerial changes and shifting tactics, Ronaldo's output began to waver. He still delivered moments of brilliance, hat tricks, solo goals, clutch performances. But questions about his fitness grew louder. His weight fluctuated and the media turned critical. Some blamed the club's medical team. Others pointed to Ronaldo's habits. Either way, his body was no longer a sure ally. By the 2006-07 season, under Fabio Capello, Ronaldo was sidelined. Capello demanded discipline. Ronaldo felt marginalized. The magic remained, but the minutes did not. In January 2007, after scoring 104 goals in 177 matches, Ronaldo left Real Madrid for AC Milan. The Galactico era never fully reached its promise, but Ronaldo added another chapter, this one written in white. In January 2007, after an uneasy exit from Real Madrid, Ronaldo returned to Serie A, this time in red and black. AC Milan hoped he still had something left. Across 2 seasons, he scored 9 goals in 20 appearances and brought flashes of the old brilliance. But his body, stretched by years of impact, was no longer the same. On February 13, 2008, during a draw against Livorno, Ronaldo leaped for a cross and collapsed. The crowd watched in disbelief as he clutched his leg in agony. It was later confirmed he had ruptured the kneecap ligament in his left knee, his 3rd such injury. Clarence Seedorf said, "My heart stopped beating, because it was like watching a repeat of the injury he suffered playing for Inter Milan against Lazio." Silvio Berlusconi added, "He fears for his career. I called him and told him to believe in himself." But Milan released him that summer. His contract wasn't renewed. The silence around his future was deafening. Ronaldo disappeared from the headlines. Pundits declared it was over. Then, in December 2008, he reappeared, training with Corinthians. Weeks later, he signed. The reaction in Brazil was overwhelming. In his first season, he scored 23 goals, winning the Paulista Championship and Copa do Brasil. Fans, old and new, found joy in his return. Still, time was catching up. By 2011, at 34, Ronaldo knew it was over. On February 14th, he announced his retirement. "My body can't handle it anymore," he said. Tears followed, signaling the end of a remarkable chapter. His story closed with emotion that outshone statistics. Ronaldo's name meant more than goals. It meant memory, emotion, and the kind of greatness that doesn't fade, even with time. Retirement didn't dim the spotlight on Ronaldo. In 2011, just after stepping away from football, he revealed a condition that had silently shaped public perception: hypothyroidism. "It's why I couldn't lose weight," he explained. For more than a decade, critics had mocked his physique and questioned his discipline. Now, the truth reframed the past. Post-football, Ronaldo stayed close to the game. In 2018, he purchased a controlling stake in Real Valladolid, stepping into club ownership. But the results were turbulent. The club saw relegation, and fans voiced frustrations. Chants and banners criticized his leadership. In Brazil, he later acquired a majority share in Cruzeiro, his former club. The move was met with cautious optimism but faced organizational challenges and uneven performance. Off the pitch, Ronaldo's public image faced strain. A video of him appearing intoxicated went viral, drawing mockery. Later, deepfake technology manipulated his likeness into scam ads, AI-powered impersonations he publicly condemned. These incidents reflected a broader tension. The legend was aging in a world where fame is permanent, but control is elusive. Even so, moments of warmth endured. In 2024, he met with YouTube star Speed, a younger generation's lens into football. The exchange was awkward, chaotic, and deeply human. Life after football brought both triumphs and trials. Yet Ronaldo remained a figure admired not just for goals, but for the weight of legacy carried with quiet resilience.